Damian Priest is with Finn Balor backstage, and Priest apologizes to Balor for earlier. And Balor says, I'm sorry too, and says that if you don't want me out there, I understand, but you just let me know and I'll be out there for you. And yeah, that was our setup for the World Heavyweight title match between Damian Priest and Gunther. With these guys got into it right away. I thought it took a lot I honestly thought that this was probably the best match on the show, but I thought it took a lot for the crowd was really struggling, I thought, in this.
Really?
I thought there was the middle of this.
I didn't think so at all.
I thought these guys were beating the shit out of each other, and it just did not feel like it was not coming across to me.
I didn't sense. I mean, again, we weren't listening from the most ideal of audio feeds. We were listening off of a TV that was kind of hung up high, and whatever. But from my perspective, I didn't think they let up this crowd.
Well, he hits a broken arrow onto Gunther, getting a 2 count, and then they get into the chops. And Gunther's chest is bleeding. And this is a minor annoyance for him. He nicked his finger. He's just wiping it aside.
The announcers were trying to sell it as if he was angry.
Yes.
He saw blood, yeah.
So Priest misses him in the corner. Gunther hits him with the shotgun dropkick and a power bomb. And Priest comes back with a South of Heaven for a 2 count. And then Priest stops the sleeper and hits these big lariats. And Priest is just wailing on him. There's more big chops back and forth. And then suddenly Finn Balor has appeared at ringside. He was not summoned by Damian Priest. He has just popped up there. And then Gunther, they zoom in on his chest. And he sees it on the screen. And he just wipes it across his head. And Michael Cole yelled, "Gunther's a sicko." And Gunther then knocks Balor off the apron. Priest then pulls down the straps, which, lesson to all aspiring wrestlers. Always have straps.
Always have straps.
Okay? Easy pop, okay? The straps come down. Oh my God, now shit's on.
Always have straps or an elbow pad.
Anything to make your audience feel oh man,
shirt.
Now it's time for this part of the match. So he nails Gunther with a big lariat, South of Heaven, when Finn Balor puts Gunther's foot onto the bottom rope. And then I love this, okay? If this was the Lee Fitting effect, then credit to him. Damian Priest does not see that the foot is on the rope. And my intuition is, okay, that's his head was turned, it's kind of there, but he does feel like a bit of an idiot when we can all see it. And then he looks and he watches the replay on the screen, and he turns, and Finn Balor's head is turned, and he gets you see his face literally turn to this evil grin, and he holds this grin. It's dude, his lip is going up.
It's kind of his demon.
Oh my God, it was great.
Okay, so you like that, right? Because I thought, to me, this was...
I did like that. I do not recall sometime where the guy just sees it in the screen on real time. I did not mind it.
So we are acknowledging the use of instant replay in professional wrestling. Is that right?
Not to this isn't the referee going back on a thing. It's just the guy seeing it.
That's my problem. If Damian Priest can see it, and if everybody can see it, I'm assuming the referee was also looking in a similar direction. If the referee could see that this infraction was made, why did he not call for a DQ? Yeah. We've seen in the past, with Eddie Guerrero matches, where he just you see somebody lay down with the chair next to him and they're DQ'd. What precedent is there? Okay, I'm assuming the referee actually saw this take place. Why didn't he DQ the match?
Here's my best explanation, okay? And this will go to a lot of professional wrestling, is that when a match is constructed, the idea is, how do we get the audience up and up and up for a grand finale? Yeah. And we are not going to break that pyramid with, oh, this didn't make sense. That didn't make sense. I'm not saying I agree with that, but that is not
most of our reviews are based off of breaking down things that.
Well, I think it's a fair complaint. I'm not disagreeing with your complaint. I'm only stating that they got a great reaction out of this, and more important, the audience, they got to see a major turn, and that's all they cared about.
Yeah, I just think it's
Would you DQ someone for putting the foot on the rope? Is that a DQ infraction?
If somebody helped them put a foot on the rope, yeah, I do think that's a DQ.
Of all the things we see.
I've seen matches DQ'd for less. Not at SummerSlam. Well, you know what? Okay.
What about using the desk on the floor?
That's cool. We have an explanation. This is champion.
What about the hydration station being used as a weapon?
The hydration station happened to be there. Okay, you're not using the station to, and whatever. We have a reasonable explanation. Okay, it is championship rules. It is referee's discretion. That's all you need to say.
So the foot is put on the rope, and Damian Priest realizes this prick. He's got 2 pricks to deal with in the Judgment Day. And then, as Priest is staring at Balor, Gunther goes for the sleeper, but Priest fights out of it, reversing on top. This felt like the audience was the most behind Damian Priest they've been this whole run. Yeah. And he then lunges for Finn Balor, and there was a huge pop. Just the idea he was going to get his hands on Finn Balor. And he's stopped by Gunther, who powerbombs Priest, puts him in the sleeper, and the arm goes down at 16:38 as Gunther wins the heavyweight championship. I thought this was the match of the show.
Sure, yeah. I think so too. Yeah, for me, definitely. I think it was like a classic Gunther style of match, very loud and physical.
I thought Priest did great. Like, this guy has had an uphill climb during this run, but I think by the end of it, I'm less concerned about him post-title than I was maybe a month or 2 ago. And I think he came off really well here, and he's got a big program with Balor. And I think that this sets up not the end of the Judgment Day, but it's Finn Balor's Judgment Day with Dominic, with JD, and maybe they add somebody else. But it's Rhea and Damian that are out of the group.
I like that. Interesting. You're taking like maybe the 2 most over guys out of the group, but that makes for an effective heel stable.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah. The match itself, I thought. I've been kind of like mixed on Damian Priest run up until this point. I think he's like had bright moments, but to me, he's never felt like fully there as like the guy, you know, in the role. I think they got there tonight. Like, there were moments in here where he truly felt special, and he truly felt like he had the admiration and certainly the sympathy of the crowd. And for me, it was a moment where he was caught up in that choke, the first one, and you think the match is over already. And then, like, he sold that choke so well, struggled in that choke so well, and like just kind of almost told you a little story just by being in that choke. And the moment he powered up out of that choke, this whole arena,
they were so behind him to get out of that. And maybe we should go back. Like, as much as that match was like really quiet with Gunther and Balor, like really that sleeper, like the crowd took that sleeper as a serious submission hold, and the fact that was the title switch, like the sleeper. Like, they got that sleeper to where they wanted it to be, and probably is going to be one of, if not the go-to for him.
So they're ending this Damian Priest reign, I think, having accomplished what they set out to do. He's now maybe at the most over he's been in his career, even without the championship. The goal now is to take him even further. And I always think, like, maybe a point where
What if Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley show up with, like, rifles on Raw or something? Like, they just I don't know, blow torches. Okay,
where are they? What state are they in?
I think they're in Ohio still. I think that's Cincinnati.
I guess you can carry.
They just show up and they're ready to kill folks. Okay, they're going for Finn, they're going for Dom, and they're going to start with JD.
I think for me, like, Priest has always been lacking in the promo department. I think he just like hasn't really found like an authentic voice yet, and you know, does he have enough story material to change that here? I don't know, but like in-ring wise, like they put him in the best position they could have once they've kind of taken the belt off of him.